is what bad prep looks like when the cameras are rolling. You want enforcement, you run it professional. You clear lanes, you control space. You want leadership, you get planning, briefings, and discipline. Not excuses and optics games. Stay out the line. Stop trying to be the character.
Yeah, index red, scum gang troll.
When nights pull up, say the fuck out the way. In the field with the feds, you get put in your place. They put all on no games, no delay. But Trump and Noom fucking up the play. Bad optics, no prep or disgrace. Agents scared, escalating your face. Drop the hammer, now get out of race. Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Minneapolis streets, ice on the scene. Woman jumping in the field with the team. Agent pop off, now the optics was mean. Terrible look, but the shooting was clean. Protesters wild since George Floyd on the ground. Culture going crazy, running feds out of town. Should've been ready, I'm up, shut it down. But no more buffoon, no leadership found. Trump picked it, what the fuck was the plan? Niggas on that's why the agents get slammed. Women in charge of Homeland 9. Security weak when you let them command. When nights pull up, say the fuck out the way. In the field with the feds, you get put in your place. They put them all on no games with delay. But Trump and Noom fucking up the play. Bad optics, no prep or disgrace. Agents scared, escalating your face. Drop the hammer, now get out of race. Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Deportation slow, Obama did more. Trump talk big, but the numbers on the floor. Noon gotta go resign today. Can't leave the HS, get the fuck out the way. Ice and knee back up for federal mic. Interference on site, no polite. Wasted the blood, now we paying the price. Minnesota ice, turn the blood on the ice. Cold. Fix it or fold down, or bring the pain. Now. Real MAGA want bodies on the plane. No more excuses, no more of the same. Order movement die in the pouring rain. Trolls. Stay the fuck out of the way. Gang, gang, gang. Yeah.
What's up, Kristen? You up? You up? Yeah, they're up in Minnesota, Minneapolis. We've got a new riot season dropping. This is the worst we've seen since George Floyd. I am showing video in the background, and they're getting turned up out in Minnesota. I don't know what's going on. It's cold, man. They're out there like it's the new party season, basically. It reminds me a lot of COVID. But I mean, COVID, you had the lockdowns, so people wanted to get out. But I still feel like it's almost the same thing that people just, it's like one of those things you do, like going to the club is you can go to the club so often. But this is like the new kind of social media. They all have their cell phones out. If it wasn't something that could go viral or they think would look cool, you wouldn't see it. I don't know how many of them are paid agitators, as Trump might say, but they're out here saying F ICE, and they're out here they're doing much right now. Thanks for stopping by, as always, Christian. Jordan Lott says, hey, brother, libertarian, yo, guess what? I slipped on ice today. Oh, shoot. Yeah, on the sidewalk. It's icy out there. Be careful, man. My wife hurt herself, slipped on ice. It was a while back, but luckily she recovered from it. But man, you can take an L. It's icy out there. Time to party with the Dr. Shiva bro. Jesse the Body Ventura was dropping words on Trump. Yes, he was. I actually saw that. I can go get that clip real quick for Jordan Lott. Long time friend of the show. Jordan Lott might have been with the show for 3 name changes. I know you've been with the show for at least 2. That's an OG. One of our libertarian friends of show. What did Jesse Ventura? He kind of crashed out a little bit. Let me see if this is the clip here. There's a couple clips going viral. Jesse Ventura. We're going to talk about today all the new stuff that we haven't really discussed the past 2 days going on with these riots. And then I want to talk a little bit more about the gender angle of this. The role of men in society. Jesse Ventura on Trump. Who that? The draft dodging coward?
Message for Trump and or message for Governor Walz?
Who was that? You mean the draft dodging coward? I don't call him by name. He's the draft dodging coward who, when it was his time to serve his country, he did what all rich white boys did. I wasn't a rich white boy. I grew up in South Minneapolis. Most of me and all my friends are Vietnam veterans. We had to go. But the rich white boys never had to go, did they? And he didn't have to go, did he? And yet he's going to tell me what courage is?
Message for
Jesse
Trump
Ventura.
and or
I actually am a fan of Jesse Ventura. He kind of went kind of wackadoo, and you know, I'm not going to be for the white drop. As I don't mind calling out the white. I mean, everybody's got to get called out: the black, the white, the Asian, the Mexican. We call them all out here, but not in that way. It's kind of cringe. But he just has the delivery, though. Like I want to not like the white boy drop, but he has. It's almost like Mystical or Busta Rhymes from back in the day. Busta can just drop anything, man. It's almost like Tekashi 6ix9ine. The intro song I played today on SUNO, I was trying to copy a little bit of Tekashi 6ix9ine. I heard him drop this diss track on Mr. Beast, and I'm like, why do I like Tekashi 6ix9ine? I don't even know why. I think it's just the delivery. So I'm not going to play the whole thing again because it's cringe in a way, but the energy's there.
message
Listen to the voice, man. He dropped it hard.
for Trump and or message for Governor Walz.
Who was that? You mean the draft dodging coward?
He just has the delivery, man. He's going to always have it. Jesse the Body Ventura. Who's you people? So you people are pathetic. I don't know, man. I don't know what people are saying, but we are looking at serious stuff going on in Minneapolis, and we're going to break through it. I'm going to show a little bit more video. So this is going on. I mean, within the last hour is a lot of this stuff. I mean, some of it is new, but a lot of it is going on just within the last hour or so. Here's what we saw earlier in the night. We saw the same reporter from the Mostly Peaceful. He's back. What's his name? What's his bruh's name? Andrew Colvette. I'm not going to crash out on the Jays today. I'm not going to crash out on the Jays today. I'm not going to crash out on the Jays today. Andrew Colvette says even CNN is in complete disbelief at the lack of Leos outside of what's believed to be the hotel where ICE personnel are staying, and that is completely swarmed by agitators. He wasn't the one that said the peaceful, but he was one of the famous ones from George Floyd. It's mostly peaceful.
So, Laura, right now we are in downtown Minneapolis. We're following this protest outside of a hotel where these protesters believe federal agents may be staying. And just in the last few seconds, it appears they're trying to get actually inside this hotel. You can see this ramp that they were all around me a few seconds ago, and now they're up this ramp. I can see a door open to this particular hotel, and you can see and hear how much noise they're actually making right now. Earlier, they were shining lights on some of the windows, truly making as much noise as humanly possible to this point, banging on drums, blowing their whistles, out with their signs as well. This is at least the second hotel they have been to in the downtown Minneapolis area, appearing to be under the belief that agents are staying at the hotels at which they arrive. Now, again, you can hear the drums, but I can't emphasize enough, it was just a few seconds ago, as we're going to get closer to this ramp to see what we can see. Excuse me here. Where you can see the door open. It doesn't seem that they've made much more progress beyond that door opening and a good portion of them actually going in. Now, while there was law enforcement in this area a little bit earlier in the evening, we have not seen...
I love how serious he's covering this. It's almost like it's the disconnect between the chaos that he's covering and he's still proper, professional, buttoned up, polished. It's impressive. Because out there with everything going on, you got to watch your back, even as a news reporter. I don't know if they have bodyguards, or I don't know what's going on. I mean, what bodyguard could you have to stop from a riot turning on you where it's almost anarchy? And he's just buttoned up and still like, look at them on the ramp. I would be like, it's crazy out here. These niggas is wilding. You know, just I don't know how you keep the polish in the middle of the riot. It's not a protest, by the way, guys. This is not a protest. This is just power.
last 30 minutes or so to this point, as they are now clearly, it seems to have breached at least one of the doors here, but at the very least, everyone out in the street making as much noise truly as humanly possible. And when you look at the size, it actually isn't the overall biggest that we've seen, but you actually see here they've climbed a ladder of this other little vestibule here on the side, and they're up there observing as well, as you've got apartments around the surrounding area on top of that. So this is a protest that had been marching through the city and through downtown Minneapolis in particular, and this is the latest stop where they've made their move here to just oh, and you know what? I'm going to turn here. You can see the lights that they were shining on the sides of the building here, trying to get into some of the windows with that light, which we saw.
What the hell is that? That's a hotel? What the hell kind of hotel look like that? Looks like an abandoned warehouse in downtown Cleveland or downtown area of any urban area in this country. What hotel is ICE staying at? Is that a hotel? I'd stay at a Motel 6 before that. I'd stay at one of those little $50 hotels where they basically take the working girls off the street to go to before I go to. I don't know what that is. I ain't staying there. That's a broke down, run down project apartment complex. They turned it into a hotel? What is that, Holiday Inn? Hell no.
Them doing previously on the other side of the building as well. So, Laura, clearly we knew there was anger here with federal immigration agents being in the city of Minneapolis, and these protesters making it known they do not want them not only in the city but not even staying in the hotel.
What hotel is that? I don't ever want to go to that hotel. I don't know where they staying at, man. I'd be like, hell no. That's not good for recruitment. I don't know who's going to be trying to go to ICE. You get yelled at, spat at. You got lesbians trying to run you over, trying to get away from you because they got scared because their wife talked them into doing some dumb shit. And you got to go, cack, cack, cack. And then now your life is just completely turned upside down. And then you got to stay in that, whatever that is, while this scummiest, dirtiest, bummiest, non-job havingest ass, the worst of society is outside your hotels flashing flashlights at it. And you know that if you defend yourself, then you're the one that's at fault. You can't at least stay somewhere a little bit nicer than that. How is where they're staying getting leaked like this? How did we figure that out? Why is that happening? How does a lesbian drop off her 6-year-old kid, a 37-year-old lesbian mother of 3, drop off her kids and somehow find out where ICE is going to pop up to put her car in the way? How does that even happen? Are we going to talk about that? Or is Trump, you going to figure that out, Trump? We know Kristi Noem she should just go on somewhere. Just go back to wherever she came from, go find another affair to be involved with, a boyfriend, and go do that. Just stop trying to lead anything. And then let's just talk to Trump. With Trump, what is going on? ICE is in a rundown, abandoned building that at least CNN is calling a hotel. That's what it looks like on video. Where's the National Guard? Where are the troops? What is this? Trump looks more bitch-like by the day, by the moment. We already been through this with Floyd. Trump did nothing to stop Floyd. Of course, he's not going to do anything here because I was just, kind of joking here with I said he had to go cack, cack, cack. Obviously, he did not have to do that. Shooting was just. She didn't have to try to run away either. But the optics are bad, so he's not going to come and make it worse here. But it's almost like Trump is in no man's land. What is Trump doing? He's not doing mass deportations, but he's getting press coverage like he's doing mass deportations. So you're going to take the political hit however you feel, this is not a popular stance. You haven't sold it. You're the master salesman. You haven't sold it. So you're taking the political hit. All the Republicans and MAGA are taking the political hit for this without any reward. There's no payoff. You're not doing the mass deportations. You're getting press coverage as if you're doing beyond mass deportations. You're getting press coverage as if you're driving around with a taco truck to attract the nearest Mexican and putting them in a paddy wagon and sending them back, like right, all of them, legal or not. That's the press coverage that you're getting. Go anywhere in this country and just talk to a random person. If somebody is pro Trump in this way or pro Nick Fuentes, they're even going to be hesitant to tell you publicly. So Trump becomes the big bad monster, and he's not doing anything. He's not accomplishing anything other than breaking off the big oil companies. He's not accomplishing anything other than inviting Tucker Carlson to the White House to break off the big oil companies. He's not accomplishing anything other than not putting pressure on the big businesses who allow the immigrants coming here. I'm starting to think that this whole thing is a charade, people. I'm starting to think this whole thing is a lie. What am I saying? I'm starting to wonder if Trump is actually trying to, on purpose, create this where it's like, hold me back in the NBA. Two people in the NBA, something happens. They don't really want to fight, so the teammates come. I want to go get that dude. And you wait kind of slowly for a teammate to try to hold you back so you can go, I want to get him. This teammate's holding me back. I'm trying to do the deportations, but all these mass protests and these sanctuary cities are holding me back. Well, I don't know. Start with a red state then. Is Trump going into red states? Why is he in Minnesota? Have we cleared out Georgia yet? Is there no red state in the country where you could bring ICE in that's not a sanctuary state at least? Maybe the state will help you at the sanctuary. I don't even know if there's any sanctuary cities in the red state. I don't even think you can, but I don't know that off the top of my head. But why wouldn't you start with the red state and say, look, this is where we're going. We're getting cooperations from governor, whoever, wherever. They're a red state. And we're cleaning this piece out. And yeah, all in these red states, they just started running. All the Somalis started running out, and everybody started crawling out of the woodworks, the termites and everything, and they went to the blue states. But we got the red states on lock. Why isn't that the message? Why isn't the message, let's start with the biggest corporations. You like to bring the corporations in, right? Bring in the corporations and say, the immigration stuff is done. You do it, I'm taking you out in shackles, not them. Not the triangle-headed shaped Somali, you. Stop with the illegals. On the biggest corporations in the country, the illegal stuff would stop in 2 seconds. Where are they going to work? Then we go to the welfare benefits. Just basically, figuratively, choking them out from the system top down. Why isn't that the position? Trump could come back and say, what are we doing this? This is inefficient. I've got ICE agents who, with all the videos that we see, probably could have offed at least 50 people and be justified in it. But what's that going to accomplish? The goal is to get people who shouldn't be here out of here. So I'm going to do my self-deportation, which I'm not a fan of. But Trump could say, I'm going to do my self-deportation thing, pay him $3,000. That the idea is it's cheaper than the advertising and all that. But then you wouldn't be able to break off your cronies, though. But I'm going to do the $3,000 and have them self-deport. But then ICE, we're going to work with the states that want to work with us. We're going to choke out the corporations from doing it. The hotels, Home Depot, whoever, the construction industry. Well, why isn't that the farming industry? Why isn't that the message? The message is I'm going to go after the criminals, and it seems to be very much focused in, remember the riots happened in California. Why you're getting friction there? Why don't we start with the low-hanging fruit? You want to clean out your house or your garage. Let's start with what's easy to clean out, and we'll do it piece by piece. Let's get some momentum. Let's show people we can do it peacefully if you work with us. Then you go to Minneapolis, you see they don't work, and then we have to go eliminate a woman, deranged, of course, but we have to eliminate her because she didn't listen. See, in Minnesota, they didn't help. In whatever state they did. I'm starting to think this whole thing is a joke. I'm starting to think this whole thing is a charade. What is Trump focused on? What has he said? He hasn't come with any solutions, any answers. He just wants to live in this world where there's ICE agents in some broken down hood ass hotel in Minneapolis. Congratulations on your new position, guys. You got the worst job in the world. You're going to deport what? Pedro? You're on the hunt for Pedro, and you got thousands of blue-haired liberals with COVID masks on and police that agree with them knocking on your door. Congratulations. Thanks for servicing the country. I hope it was worth it. Who's signing up for that? Who's dumb enough to sign up for that? The only person signing up for that is the type of person who walks in front of a car, hoping with a camera out, hoping that the lesbian tries to do something so they can use their piece. That's the only type of person that's signing up for that job. Who else is signing up for that job? There's no one with any common sense about them. It's people, ex-military, PTSD type dudes. Quinn in season 6 or whatever season when he turned retarded on Homeland. That's the only type of person signing up for that job. That's why they're in that hotel. They have no family, don't care about the family. They're lucky that they're still there. Abuse of substances, probably. Break them off $80K, $100K. Give them a gun, they're happy. No training. Put them in the middle of chaos. And then now you have this. The system is just completely, this whole thing from the start, everything, and I've been calling this out. This whole mass deportation thing is a scam. And that's what we're seeing right now with these riots right now. The whole thing is a scam. You got the scam on the left. You got the scam on the right. It's another example of people scamming the system, just like the Somalis. Donald Trump's no better than the Somalis. He's taking the money, breaking it off to the AI companies, breaking it off to Peter Thiel, breaking it off to Elon Musk, breaking it off to Israel, breaking it off to the defense contractors for Ukraine, and then now Venezuela. We don't know how long we're going to stay in Venezuela. He's an orange-faced Somali. It's all becoming clear. What did Cat Williams say? All lies are going to be exposed this year. All of it. I'm not going to be on here and MAGA's on here cheering or making fun of the leftists and cheering on Trump. I'm like, you're living in 2018. You're not even at 2020 yet. You got to mature the take. You say Trump didn't want to do anything that I said there. Why hasn't Trump spoken up and said, you know what, this has gotten out of control. If we have laws and the federal agents can't enforce them, I'm going to start with Minnesota and we're going to put every single damn resources we have until, if we need to, we will eliminate all of you. You can't do this. This is how serious this is. Why isn't he saying that? Because it's not serious to him. He's good with this. That's why. And any common sense would say, wait a second, either you pull them all out and say this is too dangerous, somebody else is going to get off, we don't want anybody off, or you double down, triple down, you're all in. You don't stay in no man's land. I used to play tennis. You either stay at the baseline where you can return long rallies, or you come up to the net. You don't stay in the middle of the court where you can't do either one. You do one or the other really well on each point, and you commit. So we're at the point where Donald Trump has to commit. either admit he's a bitch, admit Kristi Noem was a ridiculous hire, or you double down, triple down, and say, well, this is getting really out of hand. We got thousands of people in the street. I want every single resource we can without compromising other areas in Minnesota right now. And when we clean it up, we're going to come back if you mess it up again. The message is, don't you ever, if you want to go riot on your own police and all that, that's on a state issue. Let Governor Horse Seaman deal with it. But when you come to federal agents, it's a wrap. You're going to be Renee Gooded. That's what he has to go either way. I'm not even trying to make the take right now of which one he should do. I'm just saying you have to go either way. You can't do this. This is the worst case of all scenarios. And the most simple explanation is this is what they want. Or the people who run Trump, this is what they want. They're fine with it. That's the only explanation I can have. Trump's old. Young Trump I don't think young Trump would have operated like this. Now, I'm not even talking about 2020 Trump. I'm talking about like young when he was really in more of his prime. So tired of Donald Trump at this point. This is weak. This is feckless. You letting them run up on federal agents? If they want to run up on the police station in Minnesota, even that's not acceptable. But that's a whole different thing than I have video here of them throwing snowballs at ICE agents just a month ago, and I didn't even know this happened. I'm trying to see if I have it in here. They were throwing snowballs at ICE agents. They were cowering and getting hit. No wonder somebody got offed. This was just a month ago. The ICE agents are in the street cowering. So this one is from just a couple days ago, I believe. Yeah, this one's just from a couple days ago. I'm going to show this one here. If you're just listening, I'm showing the video. It's going to be very small, though. It's very small, but this video is purportedly, I can't confirm independently, but this is NBC News. They appear to be throwing snowballs at ICE agents now. And I'm not I'm the one who said I want to disband the FBI. I'm not pro the federal government agencies. Well, if I want to disband the FBI, you all want to disband ICE, well, why can't we disband the FBI? Let's work together on that. Because obviously, what's the take from the leftists? You like FBI, but you don't like ICE? If I don't think the FBI really has a purpose other than to beat the ass of citizens, I'll agree with you on that. And we can talk about ICE too, but I want to talk about the FBI first and how corrupt that body, that government body is. If I agree on that, and I don't know why the described Antifa, the anti-fascists, wouldn't agree with that, well, then why can't we collab? You know why we can't collab? Because the whole thing's a joke. The whole thing, Antifa's a joke, MAGA's a joke. These blue-haired leftists are a joke, and the ones who purport themselves to be Christian that are really Zionists are a joke. It's everything is a joke. You've got the foreigners, you've got the domestic people all playing into this. Look at this. Throwing snowballs at them.
There are some people, as you can see, throwing snowballs at some of these officials that are moving down towards
Donald Trump. Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see how Donald Trump's legacy is going.
It looks as though there are some people, as you can see, throwing snowballs at some of these officials that are moving down towards what appears.
Donald Trump's the worst dictator I've ever seen. He's a dictator where his troops get snowballs thrown at him. That's the type of dictator. How do you sell him as the Hitler, the dictator? He appoints a woman to head the defense of our homeland. That's how little they think of our homeland. Millions of men, we can't find a damn man to run that. So we pick, and not just any woman, a woman that has no business in the role. And they go out, they purport, they say they're going to go and drag criminals out. They're not even talking about mass deportation. They're talking about criminals out. So they go into the belly of the beast of the leftist state. You got to go in there prepared and manned up. Let's take a look. How's that going? How's it looking?
It looks as though there are some people, as you can see, throwing snowballs at some of these officials that are moving down towards what appears to be the scene. And I want to get a closer look here because it looks as though there may be, I don't know if it's a skirmish yet or obviously some kind of a conflict. There's some exchange of words happening here.
There's no exchange here. There's just ICE agents getting ice balls thrown at them. I don't see an exchange here.
Here, the snowballs keep flying there. It looks as though there's some news crews on the ground as well. It looks as though there are some people, as you can see, throwing snowballs at some of these officials that are moving down towards what appears to be the scene. And I want to get a closer look here because it looks as though there may be, I don't know if it's
man, the ice is looking bad right now. That's why she rolled up. She thought she could roll up. That's why you have these women rolling on up to the ICE agents because they're seeing everybody throwing snowballs at them. They're like, okay, it's fair game. Everybody can roll up. This is insane, man. I'm just looking at the aftermath of this and I'm just like, wow. Then now you got stuff popping off in Portland. That's why, to me, you have to say, I'm going to focus on Minnesota right now. We had to already take away one of y'all. We'll take away as many as we need to if you're going to get in the way of a federal officer. So I really implore. This is what Trump should say. I really implore. This is Portland. This is Portland now in the background allegedly. Trump should say, I really implore Tim Walz to help this, because if he doesn't help, then we will have the full force of the federal government sweeping through the state. You cannot come up on us like that. We have not broken any laws. We're gonna hash this out right now. That's what Trump should say. If we need to disband the union, I'm all for it. Jordan Lott's probably all for it. Jordan Lott would be in here like it's a secession party. Let's get down and figure it out. Make new alliances, new friends. Let's go to Portland and see how they're doing. Get the fuck out of my country is appropriate. I don't know if I mean it the same way he does, but we agree on that statement at least. Somebody's yelling personal space. There's no HR in these streets. And keep in mind, you obviously wouldn't catch me out in here. There's men with guns here. So let's do a risk-reward analysis. What's the reward for running out here with a MAGA hat in Portland? What's the reward here? There's a woman in the middle of this whole thing with a MAGA hat on. Middle of Portland.
Personal space. Why do you look like that? Personal space. You look like that.
Personal space. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's, I guess, irony. I don't know the proper word. But you had that girl on the subway. I believe it was in North Carolina. What's her name? I forgot her name. It starts with the I. A unhinged nig just gets up. I mean, it's one of the craziest thing. And if that's a real video, and I assume it's real, you can tell I don't trust anything right now because that's a crazy video. So a random nig gets up and just right in her neck, right there, and people are and they act like nothing happened, and there's no rioting or anything. Not that I say that would do anything, but there's no energy of that sort for that. A woman blocks federal agents, breaks multiple laws. The federal agents come up to her. She's very antagonistic towards them. One of them, I don't know why he's filming on the phone, but he's a federal agent. He's not a cop. And then he does what he does, and this happens. It's crazy how one side almost acts in a more take it to the streets violent way. And maybe that's why J6 was so concerning for many of those people on the left or the corporate side. Maybe that's why, because that was one of the only times you've ever seen, basically from the right, any type of manning up. Donald Trump's never even done that, anything like that. He didn't want that to happen, obviously, too. This is the new video that many of you might have seen. I'm not going to play it to the part where we hear shots, but this is a new angle, and I believe this is the angle from the ICE agent. I believe the ICE agent had the phone. Breaking Alpha News, whatever Alpha News is. I don't even know what that is. Alpha News posts this. I guess they obtained it. And now I need to know who Alpha News is. But Alpha News obtained cell phone footage showing perspective of federal agent. So that means the federal agent took the footage, is what I understand. I don't know why they worded it like that. At center of ICE involved shooting in Minneapolis. So you can kind of get a taste of how this foaming at the mouth liberal leftist acts after they drop off their 6-year-old at school. She's clearly in the street on purpose. That's been decided. That's over. She has her dog in the car. I'm going to get to the gender stuff right after this. So she has a smile on her face like something's funny. She obviously does not understand the gravity of the moment. They think it's almost like just a game. And Trump's kind of made it a game. So I see where they got it from. That's why I said you have to come out and speak and let people know this is not a game. If you let them throw snowballs at the ICE agents and they just kind of block them and like that, okay, we're playing snowball games. Oh, we can block them now games. Either eliminate the whole department or have the department have credibility. Make sure that the department has credibility, any of these agencies. So it looks like, is this the one that did? I didn't see him come that way, but here's an angle from one of them. Came up on the side of the SUV.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
Now, notice she says, I'm not mad at you. I don't know if it was sarcastic or not. I didn't take it as sarcasm. She just doesn't understand the serious. I'm not mad at you. He's mad at you, though. What do you mean you're not mad at him? You're blocking him. He's mad at you. It's not like you would say something like, I'm not mad at you, bro. If I'm like, I'm not trying to impede you. Even if you have an opinion where I disagree with someone, I'm not trying to fight you or get in your way or anything like that. That's when you would say, I'm not mad at you. Here, you're blocking federal agents, meaning they could be ambushed. This is not a joke. We don't know what's happening. There's hundreds of people. It can turn to thousands. They could mobilize on social media. How did they even know they were there? So this could be a setup. Like I always talk about Detroit late at night. You don't stop at this in certain parts. You don't stop at the stoplight. You don't even stop at the stoplight, much less if somebody's blocking you.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you.
That's okay. We don't change
I'm not mad at. She said it multiple times.
our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking country.
So that's the car I believe she let through.
You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car.
And that's when he ran up out of the car. It's great quality footage here. Amazing how quality the cell phones are. So he said, "Get the F out of the car."
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car.
Yeah. So that at that moment, it's almost like, okay, we're done with the games, but they didn't know that the game was over.
Get out of the fucking car.
And then now I think she knows. Now I do think she knows the game's over. But I do think she was trying to get away before and let the one car go first.
Get out of the car.
It looks like they were going to try to get out of there because the woman she's with was trying to get in the door. I didn't know that until this video came out today. And then she tries to peel out. So that you can really tell she wasn't trying to hit the guy. She did, kind of nudge him. It wasn't like a serious running over type of thing. But the other part of it is she obviously knew he was there. So that's done. From my state, I said I didn't think she even knew he was there because the officer came up on her, flanked her from her left, right here. So I was saying I didn't even think she knew when I saw the other angle from behind. I was like, I don't think, obviously she knew he was there. She talked to him. So she's looking at him right now in the front of the car. Now he did move to the side and a lot's happening. Obviously she's in her feelings or whatever emotions. And then the other woman gets involved. Why is ICE filming this? Is it ICE filming it? I don't understand why they're doing that. I don't know. Why are they doing that? Don't they have body cams? I don't know what's happening here. The whole thing's a mess. So he comes around. So he came around the whole car. Is that the one that unlived her? I don't know. I thought one of the lesbians was supposed to be hot and the other one was supposed to be butch, or they're both supposed to be hot. They had a butch one, it looked like. But I digress. So he came around the front and she has to see him. She sees him right here. Yeah. Not good. The shooting is just without question. I hope there is no disagreement about that in the chat. That's different than saying, did he have to do it? No, obviously he didn't have to shoot her. But that's easy. Number one, that's easy to say in hindsight. In the moment, did he know that he didn't have to shoot her? There's no way he would in that split second. No way. The whole situation is antagonistic. It's not like she was like, oh, I can't move. My car is ice. Please don't, shoot me. That would have been like, whoa. That's a whole different thing. Maybe it would have changed it. But the woman is trying to get in the car. The door, that's a bad time to have the door locked. Is the door locked? I don't know, she's struggling to get in, or does she really not want to get in? Or does she see that the car is going to peel off? Now you see, I don't think she saw the woman trying to get in. I guess that's her woman or whatever. They're not really married is what I saw, but whatever. So she did see the guy on the left, but she turned her head back. I mean, she clearly saw the guy. So she is turning the wheel. If you're just listening, and it's hard to see anyway, she is peeling the wheel all the way to her right. That's clearly, not that it matters, But if we're going to have a discussion about, remember yesterday, one of the rare strong, might be the first time I've ever strongly disagreed with Cassandra. And I think part of it, Cassandra McDonald, I think part of it is the whole Charlie Kirk thing too. We've had a lot. Donald Trump got his ear clipped. We never hashed that out to any type of thoroughness where anybody who's being real about it could feel confident that they believe the story. There's no way you could believe the Thomas Crook story that we've been told. Why wouldn't we know the whole story? National security, probably. Donald Trump gets clipped in the ear, and then we just a few months ago, I didn't analyze it in slow motion, but a lot of these people have broken it down, traumatized, somewhat PTSD'd, which I don't blame you, especially Jordan Lott was there, I believe, that he got shot right there during a speech. And you saw a lot of people on the right kind of like almost freaking out. And I think we're still in that state of what's happening, the leftists and this type of thing. And you see it, I think people are like, well, F it. I'm fine with lying because there's no more rules in this game anymore. It's almost like you're in a courtroom. If you can get away with the lie, they're going to get away with the lie. You're going to try to present it in your light, even if you know the truth is something else, because you believe it justifies the end goal. There's no need. It's a just shooting. There's no need to lie about what happened. Even without this view, we clearly saw that she wasn't trying to hit the dude. If she was trying to hit the dude, she would have turned it left. If she was turning it left, that would be different. To her left. She's turning it to her right. She's scared. She doesn't even see the other carpet muncher. She doesn't even see her on the other side of the SUV. Because now she's trying to put on a facade like she's confident, but now she's scared. And you can see it in her face, even here. It turns from laughter to scared. Peels turned it turns it to her right and runs over, and it kind of not clips the guy, but runs, and the guy, how does he shoot? Did he have the gun already drawn? How did he shoot with the camera out? Was it the same guy with the camera? Did he kind of do like a one-handed fall away with like, he got the gun out and shot it and filmed it at the same time? That's weird, man. This whole thing is just, Minnesota, man. Some of the most bizarre things we've ever seen in this country, man, has happened in Minnesota. Now we have to talk about gender. It's the elephant in the room, and I've touched on it a couple times, but women are going to have to realize that they are only here because men allow them here. And I want you to pause and think about that. If you haven't thought about it, I mean, there's people that I was chatting about that didn't understand what I was saying. What I'm saying is pretty clear. I'm not saying I want anything to happen. I'm just trying to state a fact, a biological fact of nature. Men are stronger. Men lead in war. Women couldn't conquer this world if they wanted to. Dear woman, dear lesbian 37-year-old who's whacked out of their mind, there's a ton of them in this country. You are only here because men allow you to be here. Do not play games in front of men with guns. It's no different than a man. I'm not going to play games with a man that knows MMA or something like that. They would just unlive me. I'm not skilled like that. I'm not as strong like that. I'm getting old. I can't do that type of thing. So I need to recognize that when I'm dealing with a young or somebody who has a skill or somebody I don't know if they have a skill or not. You better walk carefully, much less if you're a woman. That's the reality of life. And if a man is telling you something different, that is a toxic male in your life. There is no male that got through the thick skull of those women to tell them Don't do that. Go home, take care of your household, prep for when your kids come home, find yourself a man, much less, and you will live longer and probably a happier life too. Does she look happy to you? Dear woman, stay out of politics, stay out of these streets. And that there is no exception to that. If you want to influence men to do something and step up, if you want to criticize men, I'm all here to criticize. It is our fault what's happening here. The Jays overrunning our country. That's our fault as men. The Somalis running Minnesota. That is the responsibility. So with that comes responsibility. With the responsibility that, obviously without women, there would be nobody here. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm not wanting it to happen. It would never happen. But the point is, with that type of responsibility, power comes responsibility. And I think women have equal power in a different way. Manipulation, emotions, that type of thing. And I think every woman should live their life knowing that. And if they did, see, that's why they are so big on supporting the state. They're against ICE, but they're saying tax the rich. What does that mean? Tax the rich, meaning giving more money to the state. They're against ICE, but how many of them are against J6ers? A lot of the downfall in the country comes from women being able to be a part of this process. When that's just not their strength. That's not a diss to women. Women have different strengths. Being a part of politics is not one of them. Go make a sandwich. I'm not even saying not to work. Go work. Go do what you do for your household. Do not go, none of them, do not go in the streets among men with guns. That shouldn't happen. And as long as that's happening, bad things are going to happen. Kristi Noem, you shouldn't even accept a role like that, much less Donald Trump. You shouldn't even want that role. And there's many others, Pam Bondi. You can just keep going down the list. You can be first lady. That's a role you can play. Then don't tell me first lady doesn't have a role to play. First lady, Jill Biden ran basically Joe Biden last presidency. Yeah. And you know what? In a way, I don't have a problem with that. She wasn't the president. She was basically taking leadership because her man was, basically dementia or whatever's happening to him. His brain function wasn't there. So the wife stepped in her supporting role. I'm not with them on their political viewpoint, but from that standpoint, I have no problem. It's not like Joe Biden was like, I'm going to step down and make her president or something like that. You can't do that. But it's not like she was president. I'm not supporting that. But in a supporting role where her man got elected and she is the first lady. So I'm not fully against women or anything like that. But what's wrong with, and go ahead and live your life. If you want to live your life, if you want to be with a woman, if you're a woman, you want to be with a woman. If you're a man, want to be with a man. If you're a woman, want to transition to a man, go live your life. But the viewpoint of the world where you don't think that was a place, what's wrong with the viewpoint? I'm sorry, y'all. You can come to try and criticize me all you want, but a woman should not, this should not be something a woman is doing. We all know that. Deep down in your soul, you all know that. This is not something a woman should be involved with. This is not based. And we should have open discussions about this. And there's nobody poised to have these type of discussions other than Christians, non-Zionist Christians. There's nobody else in the world that I'm aware of that's to have this discussion in the way that I want to have it. No one. You are out of place. And that's what led to this whole thing. That doesn't mean men are perfect. It means that's a separate discussion. Obviously, men are not perfect. What it means is she was out of place, out of pocket. It was never led by a man in a meaningful way. She has 3 kids. Where's the men? Where are the men? Saying you got 3 kids. What are you doing? You should be protecting yourself. You should be, protecting yourself by getting out of harm's way. And if a man needs to get involved, then a man needs to get involved. But I don't think so in this case because of the risk reward. So the man will decide this isn't the battle. This isn't a battle worth fighting. Don't celebrate this. I'm not happy that she passed away. Was not murdered, but was shot and unlived. I'm not happy about that. Let's take a lesson from it and learn the patriarchy is God's way. It's not something that's just made up. That's the natural order of life, and you can't outrun biography. Your hands are too short to box with God. So at some point, the truth will catch up. And for Renee Good, that moment was a couple days ago. Now let's look at the comments, see what people are saying. This dude needs a man to teach him how to act. Are you referring to me? God bless ICE. Why? God bless ICE for what? I mean, maybe you have an answer to that. I can't. I wouldn't say God bless ICE any more than I would say God bless Renee Good. So I don't understand. Satan has you. Interesting comments here today. He said, are you an idiot? Are you an incel? Yeah, I'm an incel. You are a sick man, just like our president. What's the substance here? Give me something to, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm a sick man. I think you're probably a sick man. And here we are calling each other sick men. For what? Liz said most black guys are on the down low. What is going on tonight? I'm trying to break down the riots and the chess pieces and the concerns in our country. I'm guessing that you're the type of person that would celebrate that. Shouldn't you be celebrating that? It's arms. Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. Your arms are too short to box with God. I mess all those stuff up. Especially late night. I'm tired. I got my coffee. No excuses. But let's see here. I don't know, man. I want to see where people are at with the gender stuff. Like, why are we scared to have that conversation? And to be honest about it, that it's not a hate thing or anything like that. That's just the way. And even if you disagree, isn't that a legit way to view the world? Gray G says, I don't know, man. I respect women. If they want to work, protest, get into politics, didn't this issue get fixed? No, this issue didn't get fixed. And that's not based. What do you mean? How am I disrespecting women? By honoring where their natural strengths are and saying that the world is in the proper order when men and women are typically in the realm of what they're naturally good at. That sets us up for success, not failure. How is that respect? How is that lack of respect? I feel women should be put up on a pedestal for what they do well, not for blocking ICE agents in the middle of the road. Are you a damn idiot? Are you supporting a woman going with 3 kids, taking her time to block men with guns in the middle of a damn road? What is wrong with you? Go Bryson Gray. That's demonic. That's a demonic take. You're defending a woman going out in the middle of a road, rioting or trying to block ICE agents from what? Deporting some weird-headed shaped Somali who shouldn't be here? Have you lost your mind? Didn't what issue get fixed? That's the downfall of the country. What issue got fixed? That women got the right to vote? What the hell did that fix? Explain to me what women voting fixed. I'll wait. I'll wait for that. Other than making you as a feminist feel better. Horrific take. If I always leave room to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll flip my take. You'll see me hesitate and be like, and then I'll usually flip my take. Like I don't like having the worst take. I don't do the devil's advocate thing where you just pick a side to debate. That's lame to me. Just not, I don't have interest in it. So if you have a better argument, I will flip on a dime. Thanks for helping ICE make America white. That idea of America being white is done. I went out to a while back to a monster truck derby out where I'm at in Colorado, and it looked like I was in Mexico. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't find a white anywhere. A black. I couldn't find a black. I couldn't find a white. Zero Asians. I mean, it was literally all Mexicans. Venezuela. I just call them all Mexicans. I don't care if they're from Guatemala, if they're Venezuelan, if they're Colombian, Brazil. I mean, they could be from Portugal. I'll call you a Mexican. I don't give a damn. I'm like one of those old school guys. I don't know where you're from, but you're obviously not from here. And I just call them all Mexican, but they all look, it's whatever it is, it looked like a foreign country. Everywhere you go to the airport, go anywhere. So I think the America being all white, that's not happening. I have absolutely no problem. Obviously, I support Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes believes my understanding is that he would prefer white Christian non-Zionist men in power. I fully agree with that. Who started this country? It was white men, courageous, who were rich. They could have sold out. You want to talk about selling out? There was no benefit to them fighting the most powerful army in the world at the time. Can you imagine that? Put yourself in that shoe right now. There is no other country that's ever been started like that, and there's no other demographic that could have started the country like that. And that doesn't mean it needs to be only white, European, Christian, non-Zionist men, but that means they're the only one. If without them, it can't be saved. So I'm absolutely not against that. But if you're coming to me with some pipe dream about America being all white, what are you talking about? We can't even get the Somalis out. We can't even get the Haitians out of here. Why? Set goals that are realistic. I would say this would be a stretch goal. The stretch goal would be to get rid of the Civil Rights Act. So if what's his name, Arville or whatever his name is, wants to start a town of whites, it's legal. It's fine. That's what you need to do. If you want to do an enclave of whites, I don't even know if that's legal in our country right now. That's a damn shame. Forget about making the country all white. That ain't happening. I don't even know if it's possible. What kind of goal would that be? It's not making America white. If you're going to be for mass deportations, I am not against the Great Replacement argument, but I think that battle's over. If you're trying to get rid of the people who shouldn't be here, it's more of a battle of resources. It's more a battle of political power to shift the scales to the people that we would want in power. That's where it makes sense. If you think ICE is going door to door to make America white, sorry, that's not happening. That's not going to happen. That's done. It's over. But if you do want to say, let's get the people out of here who shouldn't be here, and then over time there might be political power to get rid and roll back the Civil Rights Act of 1964, I believe it was, one of the most disastrous pieces of legislation in the history of our country. That basically that piece of legislation says you can't discriminate against anyone except for a white man. It's basically what it says in a backwards way. If you get rid of that, that's a stretch goal to go after. If you say you want to make America white, like go back to when it was 80% white or whatever the larger number was, it's just not happening. I think the NFL football players aren't going to let that happen. They out here impregnating every white girl they can find, which is perfectly fine and legit. There's probably new people watching the channel. My wife is white. My parents are from Jamaica. And these are my takes. Sorry. If your decision is you want America to be white again, make America white again, it's too late. The buzzer, you're after the buzzer. The shot's too late. If you do want to roll back some of these pieces of legislation, that's going to take generations if you start now. And we haven't even started yet. Trump can't even get the leftists off the street. What are you expecting to happen here? If there was a place to flee to, I'd be all for it. The only place you could flee to is the moon, Mars, and who controls that? The Jays control that through Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and that. There's no place to flee to. That's why I said I know the whites. I think that's why people kind of was like, well, we could do immigration, bring some of the whites here, the South African whites or the Scandinavian whites. The Scandinavian whites are a little bit different, but let's look at the South African whites. I talked about it. You don't want those whites here. They're fleeing a situation that they allowed to get worse than it is here. Why would you want them here? For what purpose? So don't, if you're thinking about that, I'm not against you, but it ain't happening. Makes no sense. She should not be killed. These are vague statements. What does that mean? She didn't value her life enough to be living. Do you agree with that? I don't even know how we can disagree with that. William Boo said, William Boo said, I don't know who he's talking to. It could be me. You just want control and power over women. God gave men control and power over women in a way. In a way we do, and in a way we don't. Typically, obviously, there's always exceptions. Typically, men don't have power in all aspects. Obviously, who gives birth? So if you want to continue a population, that's one of the most powerful kind of, I was going to think, I don't play video games anymore. That's one of the most powerful specs you can have in a society. To be able to give birth to life, to continue the society. So no, I'm not trying to have power over women. I'm telling you what it is. God already decided that. You just want control and power over women. My position is that when I'm talking about voting, my position is that it would be some type of system where it would be a household vote. Only married people, because you want people to get married and you want them to stay married. That would be an incentive. Only one vote per household. The man votes for the household. Woman has their input. So if a man wants Trump, and just hypothetically, and a woman wants Biden, they have to hash that out. And they have one vote in the household. So the woman still has a say through her man in the political process. Don't tell me that women don't have the power once you get married. I've been married for a little bit of time now, a decade. Well, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but a woman can run things. You got to pick your battles if you want to stay married, at least for me. So that goes against your argument about control. No, it's not about control. There's certain things where I do as a man have to step up and say, I am in control of this. And then there's other times where I have to step back or she will step up. It's not about having control over women. It's about where do the puzzle pieces fit? You're trying to put a square peg through a round hole and force it through. And I'm saying it doesn't fit. And you're telling me I want control. No, I'm telling you how it works. And them to do exactly what you say. No, I do not believe that at all. Be careful what you wish for. You might get it. What does that mean? I hope you can be responsible and know that power is earned. I think some people are, I really believe there's like high schoolers in here, which I'm not trying to diss or anything like that, but you just don't, your mind hasn't developed yet. You don't know what you're talking about. Jesus is king. I think they are mad at you for how you were describing the women. How did I describe the women? Okay. The carpet munchers. Okay, that's just a joke. I don't even care. I have a live on here where I was supporting damn, I forgot her name. I haven't talked about it in a while. There's a transgender. It's not even a woman, obviously, but just my take isn't to hate these people. You can go back and look at it where I was defending. I thought this transgender had good like internet content. Not that I support transgenderism, but I like the content. So it's like I'm not here to just hate. That's not the position if you're just tuning in. Jen said you are full of hate and homophobic. God sees your hate. Well, that's going to be between me and God. Certainly not you. Let Lala go harder. You definitely have the trolls in here tonight. I like the discussion. I wish there was a little bit more substance so I can pick the ones with substance, but it's all good. We can do jokes too. You can clown me. I clown the noses for their nose. You can clown me for my wide nose or whatever you want to do. Christian $5 super chat says it's a freaking leftard and bot-arama tonight in here. Let's welcome them all, Christian. It's like me and Christian versus the world in here. But I do like the discussion. I don't like when everything's all one take. You don't grow that way. Nate says she shouldn't have been killed, but she also shouldn't have been breaking the law and listen to law enforcement when they issue you commands. Just that I guarantee you that's it's Nate. I was gonna say that's a man. You can just listen to it and see. Let me rephrase. I'm sure you're a good person, but you've missed the ball on this one. Oh, I respect that. I take back anything there, but you still haven't told me how I'm missing the ball. How am I missing the ball? And then so there's two parts to it. How am I missing the ball? And then do you at least respect my position? Is there a respectful disagreement? I've been rattling off the logic. This is from years. I'm almost 50 years old. This is years of development and take. At 35, I didn't have any thoughts like this. The take wasn't even developed. And it's still developing. Yeah, it's a great point. Women cannot govern themselves. It would be a disaster. He said, you got these dumb bitches big mad. That reminds me of Nick Fuentes when Grimes, I'm a fan of Grimes. Grimes is great. I have a whole live I did on Grimes. One of my favorite lives, actually. And I messed it up with the copyright because I played Westworld at the end. Literally just like the first scene of, it was the first scene of Battlestar Galactica. And then they pulled it. But Nick Fuentes, so Grimes started following Nick Fuentes, if you don't know. And then she quickly took it back because she was getting all the typical hate. And Nick Fuentes was like something to the effect of, I'm actually a nice guy, you dumb bitch. It's a great, that's actually one of my favorite Nick Fuentes tweets. He's so good at the tweeting, man. And he's just joking, y'all, if you don't know. He is, I don't know him, but he does come across as a very good guy. He's just making a joke, kind of making light of the situation, like you don't even know me. But I am a huge Grimes fan. I think Grimes is just wonderful. Let's take a look and see what people are still saying in the chat. We're just talking about the riots today. Let's see here. Shell, thank you for joining the chat. Says, I think some of these channels are just to get money by supporting Trump because it's hard to believe a black man supporting him. Y'all trying to get that money from Netanyahu. That's me, man. I'm a cop to it. I'm so Zionist. I'm just fronting for y'all, man. I love Israel. I love Israel. I love how much we revere Jews in this country. To have the privilege to revere the Jew. You're right, Shell.
Stand with.
That's why I have this drop on hand. Because the Jew is God. The Jew is God's chosen people. And Netanyahu, that money needs to come to my bank account. What?
Jew?
There we go. Let's play it. Come on. Work with me now.
Is a tremendous honor.
That's why I have Glenn Beck on call, Shell, because I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I want that Zion money. I love Israel. I love that our country has turned into like Zog hell. It's like heaven. Our country's never been better. The more power that the Jew gets, the better off we are.
To have the privilege to stand with the Jew is a tremendous honor.
You called me out, and I'll cop to it. Kristen said Zionists make me ill. They're crashing the hell out. Women are really fucking up America, and that's because men are allowing it. That's for sure. Hood Boy says, I am from, and yes, descendant of God, son of Jacob. Okay. We got the Jews chiming in. I love that. They were worshiping another deity. That's why they were displaced. God hasn't returned to give them Israel back. Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to do a little bit more on, kind of the situation, what's happening. I think we've covered the gender topic. Let me know if I have something I haven't touched on the gender topic. But I'm just checking in on the latest updates on the riots tonight. If you're just tuning in, Minnesota is up ablaze again. Spray paint and all. Portland's getting in the mix as well. Their mayor, Jacob Fry, is nowhere to be found. To me, Donald Trump is nowhere to be found. What has Donald Trump said? Is Donald Trump chimed in on what's happening in Minnesota? As far as like a full presser and plan, strategy, leadership. I haven't seen it myself. So we don't know what footage is real or not, but there's a lot of footage still going on in Minnesota of people, Somalis getting in the mix and all kinds of stuff, man. I saw a video of a Somali just putting on a COVID mask and jumping up in the middle of the street. No shame. Like they don't even have a part of this issue here. They're on the ICE is looking for them. And how are they jumping into this, man? That makes no sense. Let's take a look and see what's going on. So this is the video of who knows if it's really a Somali, but he has, is that the Minnesota flag or the Somali flag? I don't know, actually. These groups are so annoying. That whistle is just, these people are just professional irritators. So annoying. The way he's walking, that probably is a Somali. Kind of short, looking crazy. I bet money it's a Somali. At least they did have a presence at one moment there, at least where this was in Minneapolis. I'm not familiar with where that is. I haven't been to Minneapolis in a while. I used to work in St. Paul. Some good coffee shops out there. The leftists do coffee shops. I forgot who said it. If it was Tim Dillon or somebody. Somebody was like, I do want a leftist to do my coffee, though. I want a leftist to brew my coffee. Is that fair? I don't want them to do anything else other than brew my coffee. I don't want to go to a coffee shop and see a right-winger. There's nothing against right-wingers, but if I'm going to a coffee shop, I want to see like a hippie a peaceful hippie, not like an Antifa leftist, but like a peaceful hippie leftist making me my tea, my coffee, and all that. That's that fits in the gender study, in the gender discussion. I just want the leftist to fit in their natural role. Their natural role is to serve coffee, to be a barista. Only leftists serving coffee. The new Minnesota flag is a betrayal and a humiliation ritual. It's weird. I literally don't know if it's the Somali flag or the Minnesotan flag. Literally. Don't know. Had no idea. I couldn't tell you. So for some reason, my son memorized like the flags of the world. Not all of them, but got him for Christmas a card game. I don't even know if it's a game. It's just a bunch of cards with the flag, and then on the back is which country it belongs to. I could get France, Spain, Brazil, Jamaica, Britain, Australia. I got a couple, France, Italy. He's rattling off all these other ones. I'm like, is this a territory or a country? I don't know where he's getting. It's probably from YouTube. I don't know where he got that from. But let's look at. I wanted to kind of touch on everything new that happened, and then I'll move on to another topic, potentially, allegedly. But I did put together just to see like what's the latest stuff that happened today. Okay, so the latest stuff that we see here in the aftermath. Obviously, things are escalating. Donald Trump doubled down on public remarks defending ICE agent and disparaging witnesses. When asked about Vice President J.D. Vance's claim of a left-wing network behind Renee Good, and there's a reason we covered that, why J.D. Vance is saying that. I mean, how did she even get there? There's obviously some type of network. Trump agreed Vance is generally very accurate. He then blasted one female bystander heard yelling shame in video of the shooting. I will say with the shooting, I think it was weird. We saw after the shooting, the guy who did the shooting seemed to flee the scene. I don't know if they were trying to feign an injury or if he was really injured. It was kind of a weird aftermath for it, and that we could have been shocked. Who knows? It doesn't change what happened in the shooting, obviously, to me at least. But it's worth noting. Trump said the woman was so loud and so crazy and just not normal. He said, I didn't think she did a very good job as a protester. That's a very Trumpian remark. Trump's almost like Yogi Berra. He has like Trumpian statements, man. This is legendary. Trump will always be a legend in some right. Trump took to social media after January 7th, of course, and he wrote the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing, and resisting. All of that is accurate. We see it on video. I don't know what else you need to see. And later told reporters that Good behaved horribly. Yeah. It's on video. That's all signed, sealed, and delivered. But we still haven't even heard Trump do an official speech. He's hinting at the Insurrection Act, which I actually do not support. You don't need that. Why would you need that right now? You should be able to handle it. Noam, who oversees ICE, was quick to publicly defend the shooting. We played that at that press conference. Vice President J.D. Vance has been all over the place. He had a fiery briefing. I don't know why you have J.D. Vance do that briefing. You need Trump to do that. The VP blamed a broad array of actors, a left-wing network. He showed no hesitation about prejudging the case, prejudging the case. What you see is what you get in this case. But we have video, though. So I don't know if I agree with that. Part of Vance, quote, felt very sad for Good, whom he called brainwashed and a victim of left-wing ideology. That's so vague. I don't know. I agree, but that's so vague. I'd like to be more specific. It's feminism. You could literally just say feminism in there. against the patriarchy, not respecting the patriarchy. Her death is a tragedy of her own making, which I agree. AOC jumped into it, and she was very upset, of course. She said that there is a fundamental difference between Vice President Vance and me. Looked like she's kind of foreshadowing a presidential run, potentially. Who knows? I think this would be a good time for her to run, to be honest with you, though. With the way Trump's acting, and she doesn't have to do so super woke to be effective. People want a different message. The way Trump's acting, she could be the populist. I wouldn't support her at this point. I was an AOC supporter at one point before I really figured out what she was. This was before, was it 2020? When did she get in office? It was around 2020. Vance I think she got in 2018, didn't she? I forget. Has it been that long? Yeah, she's been there for a while now. Vance's spokesperson fired back. Who's Vance's spokesperson? I did not see that. I don't know. Caustically claiming AOC made it clear she thinks that radical leftists shouldn't be able to mow down ICE officials in broad daylight. That's a good comeback. Ilhan Omar, Queen Somalian, weighed in. She said, "We are deeply saddened and outraged. Renee Nicole Good should be alive today." Yeah, we can't have like a real discussion, a real take in this country. Is there no one with an authentic take? Pam Bondi called for a thorough, objective, and partial investigation of Good's death. Oh, no, I'm sorry. She didn't call for it. Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith wrote a letter to Pam Bondi. Well, that's fine. So all of that is leading to where we are now. Tension still rising and no one really calming things down. Yeah, I agree with your comment there on the Nazis. It's like, it's so silly to compare Trump to that. It makes no sense. You have to drop that one. Not you, obviously. Wrong pronoun, but people who are doing that, it just doesn't work. And they don't need to anymore. I mean, Trump has already he's already split his own base. There's no need to go at Trump from that angle anymore. It's just a waste of time. Absolutely no need. All right. Well, I'm gonna head out. I was just looking to see if there's any more news. I don't think there's any more. I do have the clip of the snowball, the first snowball incident. I couldn't find it at first while I was looking for it, but it's over here now. ICE getting snowballs. So they're surrounded by people who are armed with snowballs. And they can't do anything.
They're surrounded.
This is from a month ago, I believe, not today.
They're surrounded and they're being attacked. We only have a few officers, but we have, what did they say, 60 to 70 agitators that are fighting them. And we need help.
The group is getting larger here, and they're chasing after ICE.
This operation turned chaotic fast. Protesters throwing snowballs and shouting. One agent swinging a baton before ending up on the ground. The standoff reached a breaking point, leading to this call for help.
We only have a few officers, but we have, what did they say, 60 to 70 agitators that are fighting them. They're not answering their phone now, so I don't know if they got knocked out or what, but we need help.
ICE says officers sustained multiple injuries, including cuts. Local police did not find it necessary to intervene.
They're surrounded and they're being attacked. We only have a few officers, but we have, what did they say, 60 to 70 agitators that are fighting them. And we need help.
The group is getting larger here, and they're chasing after ICE.
This operation turned chaotic fast. Protesters throwing snowballs and shouting. One agent swinging a baton before ending up on the ground. The standoff reached a breaking point, leading to this call for help.
We only have a few officers, but we have, what did they say, 60 to 70 agitators that are fighting them. They're not answering their phone now, so I don't know if they got.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I do have a couple things. I'm just going through a couple things before I don't talk about them because I don't care anymore. So just going through my bookmarks. Let's switch topics to Erica Kirk. It keeps getting worse. This is from Hustle Bitch. That a 10-year-old documentary kind of resurfaced with Erica Kirk. And it's causing people to wonder, well, who is she really? Because there's a lot of questions about her. And you could call them conspiracies. And this is a new one to me. It looks like her family is involved with some of this type of business. There was a community note on this one that actually did provide some insight. I still don't like community notes anymore, but this one did provide some insight. So definitely was helpful. This one said that this clip that you're going to see here comes from the public 2015 documentary, Black Start, on grid threats. It is not CIA produced, available on YouTube since upload. It features Erica, I don't know, her maiden name, France, presenting alongside former CIA director James Woolsey. Her family's business includes EMP protection tech.
5 major threats that make our grid extremely vulnerable that we've presented to congressional officials. 1 being cyber, 2 being hackers, 3 being physical threats, 4th one is solar EMP, and the 5th one is man-made EMP. So the concern that we have is that we put out this critical information, and when we go over this risk analysis, they hear what we're saying, but they don't want to take action.
Well, there are 18 critical infrastructures in the United States: food, water, transportation, communications, etc. All 17 of the others depend on electricity.
If our grid goes down, you can't cook, you're not going to heat anything, you can't run any of your medical supplies, you can't talk on your phone, you can't take money out of a bank, and we turn into total chaos.
If this happens, the system stops.
If a transformer is taken down, we have to order it from Germany or China. It's going to take a year.
Up till recently, there were no comprehensive protective solutions available.
We know what the solutions are. They're not expensive. They're not difficult to employ. We just need the political will to do it and the follow-through on the part of the electric utilities to get it done.
The White House is protected from an EMP. The Congress and the CIA and the NSA, all of the areas that need to function in the government are protected. So why can't we be protected?
Around some of these facilities, you don't have much more than a chain link fence to keep people out. Now that seems absurd to me.
I think it is absurd when we now know that attack on as few as 9 grid substations could bring down all 3 major interconnections for the United States grid.
If the power goes out, you get the generator, and if that goes out, you get another one. There's never been a plan for what happens after that.
The director of the National Security Agency, Admiral Rogers, came out and said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
So there's a lot of questions here. How does their family get involved in EMP technology in 2015? That's ahead of the game, isn't it? So she just did that. We don't know if she's acting, if she's more of a part of it. Oh man, the more that we find out about Charlie Kirk's widow, it's just, things just get more and more strange. Her family business, her family history, how they met. I mean, everything's changed. After he died, it all feels strange. Tim Dillon had that epic segment where he talked about TPUSA, and he's not even anti-TPUSA. He likes, I think historically, he liked TPUSA. And I think he was trying to come from a standpoint of almost like love. To say, wait a second, what are you guys doing? How is this going to work? You guys are losing touch with the common person. And I think maybe it's tough for her to understand that because, you know, she never lived around normal people. Maybe that's a part of it. I don't know. And Tim Pool had a tweet where he was like, well, how can you mock? He said something like, I don't understand what Erica Kirk did to, oh, this is it right here. I don't understand what Erica has done to be constantly mocked and ridiculed like this. I'm not even showing it. I actually just found it right here. This is people mocking Erica Kirk because she's acting so weird. And now we see this video of, what is it?
It's the most wonderful.
So you see, it's just, you know, the eyes to put the filter on or whatever. I mean, she's looking kind of wild. I mean, it's kind of how Erica Kirk is looking. Face is a little wider than that, but that's a pretty, I mean, she's kind of scary, man. She's looking kind of wild out here. And then, oh, man, it's tough because I never had a problem with Tyler Boyer. Then I heard from Candace, Tyler Boyer was involved with stuff overseas, and we don't know what he was involved with, but it's like these people are connected in politics, and you just can't trust them. Can't trust any of them. Here's Tim Dillon. I'm looking for the Tim Dillon clip on Erica. I can't even find it now. This is, I think this is part of, this is a 38 second. There's a longer one. Yeah, I can't find the longer clip now. That's too bad. Oh, here's the longer one, I think. Let's see.
Killed the guy. Why are you mad about the money? I'm saying the guy got shot 3 months ago, and she walks out to a pyrotechnic display. I mean, let's take a listen here to her. Yeah, I just, you know, and the woman's been through a lot. And I know that,
and then part of it too is the feedback is out there that people aren't feeling it. There's enough feedback for, like, okay, do I really need them? Why would I have the pyro? Because people liked the pyrotechnics at first because nobody really had done a right-wing type of event that big. And Charlie was trying to make it bigger. But then it got corny now. And Charlie would have hated what it became. But you got the feedback from it, and you don't really need the fireworks, right? So then why wouldn't you just stop it? Why do you still do it? Why are you coming out in the glitter suits? Why is Nicki Minaj on the stage? There's feedback that's been provided, and it's completely ignored. It's because you are the pleb, and they feel like they're the ones to run things. There's no other reason why you would ignore what the people are asking, what the people are saying, when you don't need it.
Oh, people are going to accuse me of being insensitive. But she feels like she's handling this death better than anyone I've ever seen.
And this goes with the theme. Basically, the theme of this live stream isn't the Antifa, the rioters. It's gender. It's how does a healthy society handle gender roles? Should Erica Kirk be the face of, I'm not even saying she shouldn't be the CEO. She probably shouldn't be, but that's not even my question is, should she be the face of it? No, clearly not. You shouldn't have a woman as a face of this organization. You just shouldn't.
I mean, and by the way,
she has children.
Kudos to her strength. I've never seen a human being bounce back like this. And to go out through a stream of fireworks and sparklers and stand there in a glittering pantsuit, and 3 months after your husband was killed, many people feel that there is something off about that. And we're starting to see that political people are the exact same thing as the Hollywood elites that they all love to dunk on. And we all look at this. This is Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the Kamala rally.
Great, man. What a great take. Man, Tim Dillon's been on fire for quite some time here, for months.
This is deeply unsettling to a lot of people. It feels like you're being played. You feel it. It seems off. You feel like this is a coordinated and choreographed spectacle so that you are played. They want your money. That's what they got mad at Candace about. They're like, why are you telling people not to give us money? She's also saying you killed the guy. Why are you mad about the money? They're just mad that they're not getting money. They want your money.
Well, they are. They made a lot of money off the shirts and stuff, so they are getting money. But this video that we saw, this video here, I'll just play in the background. So this video from 2015, it looks like, with her. I'm just looking for what it is. The clip here is a civilian documentary produced by Heartfelt Films, LLC, that interviews high-profile national security and grid people, including former CIA director, as we talked, James Woolsey. So I don't blame people for calling it CIA stuff. So technically it's not a CIA video, but you're interviewing former CIA. Erica's speaking about different categories of threats to the U.S. power grid. Probably just use, she was attractive, she attractive woman, using her as eye candy, basically, is what it looks like to me. And the video, so the question here is, what qualified her to brief on national security threats? So I did a search on it. It wasn't a deep search, but they're not sure if she was a presenter. They can't find the details of it, or if she was speaking from a position of authority. Yep. So I don't have much here left. I don't have much left that we didn't already talk on it. Wow. Very kind of, I'm going to have to try to do different types of searches on it. Because I'm looking for, like, proven. There's a lot of speculation, but I'm trying to find something that's more legit. Let's take a look at the comments real quick. Are they talking about Tim Dillon? Oh, Jay Dyer. Yeah, Jay Dyer is good. Jay Dyer is, really, really bright. Andrew Wilson. Talking about Andrew Wilson. I haven't listened to Andrew Wilson in a while because I haven't done my other channel where it's After Show Carnage. And I did a few reactions to Andrew Wilson. He brings up very interesting topics. So I am a fan of Andrew Wilson for sure. I'm going to do one last, and I'm going to be out of here. This one here is Comic Dave Smith on the topic of basically imperialism one last time, I would say, but it's going to be a topic that keeps coming up, and I think Dave Smith has a point here. I'm very interested to see where Nick lands. I mean, he tweets about it, so we kind of know, but I want to know if Nick disagrees with this. Dave Smith goes off with Sneeko on anyone justifying America's invasion of Venezuela, saying might is right. So if your position is we have the might, which makes it, whether you like it or not, right, then Dave Smith would like to have a word with you.
Like, hypothetically speaking, if we could go to Latin America somewhere and just like slaughter, a few 100,000 people, but it would be in our interest. It would make us all a little bit wealthier. Are you saying you're okay with that? Because if you're just saying...
It's a great take, and I'm mad I didn't think of it first because I covered the topic. If your take is America has the strength to go to Venezuela and capture their who America doesn't even think is their president, but capture their sitting president. It's kind of weird. I don't know if there's like a setup, if he was really giving himself up or what. Who knows? But it's just kind of weird how easy it was. But if you're going to be okay with that, then why not do that with every single country? What's the limitation? I think is what Dave is asking. I don't know what's stopping you from doing it in every country.
It would make us all a little bit wealthier. Are you saying you're okay with that? Because if you're just saying that like might makes right, first of all, then Israel's completely justified in what they're doing. Actually, if might makes right.
Absolutely. I mean, that's if might makes right, then, I mean, we're funding it, but Israel's right to do what they're doing, if that's your take.
Then shut the fuck up, bitch, because Israel's just running your shit, and stop complaining. Oh, it's so unfair that they.
I don't agree with that part of it. If your take is might makes right, that doesn't mean you can't fight against the might or call it out.
They control our government. Might makes right, motherfucker, and they're beating you with that shit. So it's so weird to see the people who are out of power, saying might makes right.
Yep.
But also, number two, and I'm sorry if this, I understand, like, I know the young audience and all this, and I understand that I'm Jewish, and so me saying this maybe won't land the right way. But if you're really going to say might makes right, we could just go kill people. Like, let's say this does work out in America's favor. There's no blowback, there's no catastrophe, but we all get 20 cents a gallon cheaper gas or something like that. And you're saying we could just kill people to make that happen? That's no problem? Like, okay, but don't ever call yourself a Christian again. Don't ever fucking tell me you're a Christian. Or don't ever tell me you're a Muslim or a Jew or any of that shit. You're a goddamn devil worshiper, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. Tell me where he's wrong. I'll leave it at that and see if anybody absorbed that. No lies detected. Sneeko, I like Sneeko. I know Sneeko's a young man. He's Jewish as well, just for the record. But so again, we have two Jews talking to each other. But I like Sneeko. So he's talented. He handles himself like a man. Very impressed with his training, his athletic training, his workouts. He posts some of those stuff. You can see his improvement. But he's a very smart, talented. I've done a couple reactions to some of his videos. One of the most talented editors you'll ever find online. Yeah, I disagree with him some. Yeah, he is a Muslim, but no. He is ethnically Jewish. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure he talked. Well, I don't. Let's look it up. How do you determine if somebody's Jewish or not? Yeah, he's a Muslim, but he's ethnically Jewish. I'm telling you, man. The whole thing is I called it like a subversive society. I don't know how you can tell if somebody's Jewish or not. They don't evangelize. So let's take a look and see if this is a clip where he talks about himself being Jewish.
In the interview itself that I'm Jewish, and it doesn't seem like any of the journalists watched the interview. They didn't even quote it. They didn't quote about the fact that I'm Jewish, and I said in the interview itself that I'm Jewish when I was asked my ethnicity by the mayor. They didn't talk about it, and it doesn't seem like any of the journalists watched the interview. They didn't even quote it. They didn't quote about the fact that I'm Jewish, and I said in the interview itself that I'm Jewish when I was asked my ethnicity by the mayor. They didn't talk about his plans to be stronger with immigration. They didn't talk about his plans for crypto. They didn't talk about his 24-hour zone plans. They did ask him, why are you with this raging anti-Semite who loves everyone? They wrote down hate influencer on the New York Post. What does that even mean? What is hate influencer? This is a noun. Eric sit down with hate influencer. Why is that in quotes?
Yeah, it came.
And it doesn't seem like any of the journalists watched the interview. They didn't even quote it. They didn't quote about the fact that I'm Jewish, and I said in the interview itself that I'm Jewish when I was asked my ethnicity by the mayor. They didn't talk about his plans to be stronger with immigration. They didn't talk about his plans for crypto. They didn't talk about his 24-hour zone plans. They did ask him, why are you with this raging anti-Semite who loves everyone? They wrote down hate influencer on the New York Post. What does that even mean? What is hate influencer? This is a noun. Eric sit down with hate influencer. Why is that in quotes? When have I ever said that I'm a hate influencer? They wrote all this for two reasons. One, because They want to attack Eric Adams because he's no longer part of the Democratic Party, really. And also because I criticize Israel, and anybody who criticizes Israel, they want to call anti-Semitic. All of them. Have you noticed that? I've been saying for how many months straight now? How many people, rabbis have I met with? How many people have I people who thought they hated me came up and hugged them? How many Jewish friends do I constantly go, my best friend? One of my best friends is Aiden Ross. They talk about the runs that I go on with Casey Neistat, another Jew who's, he's supportive of Israel, but we don't have to agree on everything. People can disagree and still talk to each other. They don't talk about, do they talk about the fact that my family died in Auschwitz, that I'm a product of the Holocaust? They don't mention that. They say hate influencer because I criticize Israel and they want to discredit you by calling you anti-Semitic. But here's the truth. Nobody gives a fuck about like this. That word has no more meaning. Have you noticed that? Anti-Semitism is being used so much to silence people who are speaking the truth. Nobody believes in it anymore. It doesn't hold any weight. That's why I walk around outside. People are shaking my hand. People are still taking pictures. No one cares because the cancel, fake news, slandering, outrage, the lies that you see reading this paper, not only does no one read them anymore, no one believes it. It has no credibility.
Okay. Well, in honor of the lost ones for Sneeko, we're going to be out, and we're going to be out with the beautiful song, The Holly. We're going to be out with The Holly. I'm out. Peace.
In the honey, and I'm sorry, not sorry. Ooh, yeah.
Let's go get yourself some lunch.
And now she's gone, yeah. And now she's gone. And now she's gone. She's gone, and now she's gone, oh, yeah. Me wife died in the honey, oh,
Here's a Tekashi 6ix9ine style track based on your stance. Full support for aggressive, ISOPs and zero tolerance for interference. For heavy criticism of Trump and Christie. Known for weak leadership, bad prep and terrible optics on the Minneapolis incident. Aggressive, repetitive, shouty vibe with ad-libs, 2 verses, 1 chorus, index red. Shout out once.
Song title, stay the fuck out the way. Yeah! Index red, scum gang. When I pull up, say the fuck fuck out the way. Interfere with the feds, you get put in your place. Put them on, no games, no delay. But Trump and them fucking out the play. Bad optics, no prep with a disgrace. What? It's just scared, escalating in your face. Drop a hammer now or get out the race. Gang! Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Minneapolis streets, ice on the scene. Yeah. Woman jumping, interfere with the team. Edge pop up, now the opposites look mean. Boom. Terrible look, but the shooting was clean. Protesters watching George Floyd on the ground. Got going crazy, running feds out of town. Should've been ready, I'm up, shut it down. But Newman buffoon, no leadership found. Trump picked her, what the fuck was the plan? Millions on, that's why the agents get slammed. Women in charge of the homeland, nah man. Security weak when you let them command. Pull up, say the fuck out the way. Interfere with the feds, you get put in your place. But put them on, no games, no delay. But Trump and them fucking out the play. Bad optics, no prep with a disgrace. What? They just scared, escalating in your face. Try to hammer now or get off the race. Gang! Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Stay the fuck out the way, out the way. Deportation slow, Obama did more. Talk big, but the numbers on the floor. Noon gotta go, resign today. Can't let DHS get the fuck out the way. Just need backup for federal might. First interference on site, no polite. Wasted the prep, now we paying the price. Smell the ice, turn the blood on the ice. Fix it or fold down and bring the pain. Real MAGA want bodies on the plane. No more excuses, no more the same. Or the movement die in the pouring rain. Truth. Stay the fuck out the way, gang.